Hi everyone, it's Asia Marquet here, Lemon Creation. I come to you with a set of very bright, very happy ATC cards. This video is not sponsored in any way, but I just wanted to show you I bought myself, it was a good occasion, I bought myself a box of Caran D'Ache. Those are watercolor crayons and they are Swiss watercolor crayons, so that should tell you already a lot. The quality is there, and because the only watercolor crayons I had, they are some Chinese brand, I decided to actually go for these ones and buy myself a box of these crayons. As you know, the salts are here, so anyway, at the time of making this video, the salts were here. So I got this opportunity to get them a little bit cheaper, and I also got them because I wanted to have a black watercolor crayon, and I bought only one because in some shops they are selling them one by one. And when I tried and I saw how nicely pigmented it is and how nicely it reacts with water, I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna just go crazy and buy myself this box of crayons. And I saw them so many times because I live in France, but I live on the Swiss border, so I actually live very close to Geneva. And this is a local product of sorts here. And that's why I saw them so many times and I said to myself, well, I have to actually buy them finally. Finally, I can give myself a little bit of pleasure and just buy a box of crayons I was dreaming of. So I'm not making a publicity here, even though it is publicity because they are really, really great, but I bought them myself, so it's not a sponsored video. And as you've seen, I just swatched them all on the piece of watercolor paper, and I am adding water. And as you can see, I am not really, being very careful about it. I'm mixing the colors because that's what I wanted to have, a mix of colors. And at the end of the camera, I actually didn't show you that, I sprayed the whole paper with water. So I just sprinkle it with water like that, and you know what's happened because you can see it right now. So I got a lot of, the water pools all over the paper, and the colors mixed so nicely. On top of that, the colors, I think this is the set of, I'm not sure, I'll double check that for you, but either 36 or 48 colors, I'm not sure. And so I decided to cut them into ATC cards. I cut out the boards because at the beginning I was thinking I'm gonna use the white boards, but because there is, the middle of the paper, which is not gonna have white boards, I decided to actually go and just make them all, completely covered in color. So after I cut all of the cards into ATC cards, and once again, they are not exactly ATC cards, they are few millimeters smaller because I'm gonna do the backing, white backing to them. I had this piece of scrap papers or leftovers, and I couldn't just throw them away. So I decided to cut out a few shapes out of the papers, and I inked the edges with the black archival ink, and out of that I got this amazing collection of all colorful hearts and pebbles and stars. And I actually made another piece of paper a little bit more greenish, and out of it I cut a little bit more of the stars because there was not that many scraps left, and I just absolutely loved it. Some of these papers are very textured. The one I use for ATC cards is quite smooth, but the other one I used for some of the hearts and most of the stars was very textured. And when you have the very textured paper, it does, it's kind of harder to work with watercolor crayons on it, but it still works quite well. And so I have here pieces of white cardboard, which is gonna be a backing to my ATC cards. I'm not sure if the backing is a good word, so if you listen to that, please let me know what's the proper English word for the white parts of the ATC cards. So as you've seen, I ink the edges with the old archival ink pad, and now I am adhering them to this white backing. And like that, they take a little bit on more life, I think. They are much nicer. They have this white accent. And this is also, it's a very, very bright project for me. I usually do a lot of projects with black. This one is quite unusual. I was thinking I'm gonna stamp it with my Mandal-la stamp set, but because I have only one Mandal-la stamp set, if it comes to stamps, and few kind of circular shaped stencils, I decided at the end to actually use the stencil on them. And of course, with the hindsight, I should have done the stenciling before I put the backing to the cards. And you're gonna see me having a little bit of issue with stenciling later on, but fortunately I'm using my cream paste from Stamperia, and it's absolutely cool, this paste. And it even though I got a little bit of issue with the fact that I had already white borders and I didn't want the stenciling to go over onto the white borders, I could remove it with the palette knife, because this cream paste is removing quite easily if you make a mistake. So I'm using few sets of my stencils, and all I'm gonna do is to take a little bit of paste and just spread it and make kind of like not the full shapes. I didn't want to start, you know, in the middle of the stencil. I wanted a little something which is like off center, because that's usually more pleasing to the eye if you do it like that, if it's not a regular shape kind of in the middle, which could be nice. Also mandalas are done like that, but I kind of liked making things off center. And here is the problem I had. From one side I covered it with the piece of white paper, but the bottom I got, of course, a little bit of paste which stuck to the white part of the stencil, but you can remove it quite easily with the palette knife. And well, of course you have to do it straight away, so the paste doesn't have a time to dry, of course. In the close-up photos at the end, you're gonna see that the texture paste, the cream paste, has a little bit of, it's not really grit to it, but it's kind of, well, it's not super smooth, it's not shiny, which is super fine with me, because I actually don't like shiny pastes, I like matte pastes. So in some of the cases you're gonna see a little bit of, you know, of the shapes, or maybe yes, shape which is left by the palette knife on the paste. And I don't really mind that. I was even thinking to maybe cover it with something, you know, I could have maybe add a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a sparkle to it with some kind of these shiny tiny things. I forgot the word for it, but I didn't want. I kind of like this effect. I like the fact that it's not perfectly smooth and it doesn't bother me at all. And what I like about this project is, first of all, that the colors are so beautiful. They are these water pools which were made with the water on the paper, which gives it such a nice effect. And that can happen mostly with watercolors, but of course also with some other paints also you can manage to get this effect, but I really, really like it. And so the blend between the colors is so smooth in majority of those cards. In some, there are some exceptions which I maybe didn't add enough water, but otherwise it's so smooth and so nice. And what makes them so nice is also, you know, this connection between the white, totally white, pristine white paste from Stamperia with the white borders and a tiny bit of black, you know, just to accentuate this this beautiful connection, you know. I really absolutely love it. And even for one moment here, I was not thinking I'm gonna add some stamping, because I said to myself, for once, I don't need really black. The inking of the edges with a tiny bit of black was enough, was just perfect. and just bright, super colorful cards with these white accents are just so nice. I think they are by far one of my nicest cards, ATC cards, at least lately, which I've done. And to be honest, I have these two feelings in me. One is that I would like to keep them because I really love them. At the same time, and I am so a little bit sad to see them go, because as always they're gonna be sent. I'm gonna keep only one. As always with every set I'm making, I'm always keeping one card for myself, but the rest of them are gonna go to my customers with my with their orders. And so I'm a little bit sad because I really like them. At the same time, I'm quite happy that I can offer something which is so bright and so happy, and which I like so much. So I hope you'll appreciate that. And yes, that's it. This is all I've done with these cards. At the end, I added words, and I was thinking for a moment if I should add any type of sentiments to it. But since they are not abstracts, they are just ATC cards, I think I thought that the best way would be to actually finish them with a little bit of sentiment. For that, I use mostly my super messy words. I think also really silly in some cases. But what I've done is I didn't add the full sentences. I just cut words out of some sentences which I really liked, and I just wanted to add to the cards. Like I think Starshine or Sunshine. I'm not even sure which one I add. I add Serendipity. I love this word so much. And something uplifting in most, or if not all, the cases, because I really want these cards to be really happy and uplifting. And this is it, guys, from me. I hope you liked this video. If so, thank you so much for sharing it. And as always, I appreciate so much if you subscribe to my channel, if you like what I do, and for leaving me all the comments. I've been actually a little bit I kind of didn't comment since 1 week, didn't answer to your comments since 1 week. I'm gonna catch up on this, I hope, in the next day or so. But I really do appreciate every single comment, and I'm reading every single comment of yours, and I'm trying to answer to every single one. So thank you once again so very much. Thank you also for visiting my shop, and you're gonna find the full list of products in the description box below. I'm sending you big hugs. I hope you have a lovely, bright and happy day, and see you soon. Bye bye.